Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. Hopefully, there it goes. Facebook is now on with us, so we will get going here. We've had a wild evening here thus far. Many severe thunderstorm warnings across the tri-state. The good news is most of that action has wound down, and you see the picture here of Owensboro now. It is calm again. We had a pretty good storm through there earlier. Still getting some lightning there off to the north. Overnight, still a few strong to severe thunderstorms are possible, and then our heat index for Monday and Tuesday, we'll get back into that danger zone of 110 degrees plus, and we have more isolated storms possible Monday and Tuesday. Our severe thunderstorm watch will continue until midnight. No counties have been trimmed out of it yet. And I'll show you why here when we look at the radar. We had a number of severe thunderstorms that rolled through the area. Many of them had that tornado possible tag on them and also the destructive tag on them. We had wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles per hour and some widespread damage. In fact, we can look at that. I'll get that up here quick. Hopefully some of these reports have come in now. I was kind of waiting, hoping that they would be in here so we could talk about them a little bit. And I am watching your comments here on Facebook, so we'll check those out. These are all wind and wind damage reports, and you can see we had a whole cluster of them in there. I'm going to pick just a few. Trees down there on Dixon Road number 1, that was near Corridon. And again, I'm just randomly picking a few. We had trees down at Whispering Meadows near Sargo Elementary School. And in southern Illinois, we had some hail there at Albion and large trees over Highway 14. And finally, we'll get here to the west side of Evansville, I believe. We had wires down on Bayou Creek at Broadway Avenue. That'd be out by Burdette Park. And a couple more. I think we had a pretty good wind gust there near Morganfield, grain bin damage. So that was probably 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. I think we've got another report there at Madisonville. There were multiple trees and power lines down south of Uniontown, and about 5% of Uniontown is without power right now. Madisonville, we had a few trees down on the west side, and I think the airport also recorded a wind gust of 70 miles per hour. That was at Earlington, so not the airport. Anyway, that part of the storm is finished. What we're watching, especially back here to the north, would be for any redevelopment. I think we're probably done for the night. We could still see some training thunderstorms and heavy rain in Du Bois and Pike counties and down into Spencer, but the bulk of the bad weather has moved on. Overnight, we could still, get a pop-up shower or two as we get later into the night. The energy available for storms will be much less. It's already less because of the storms that came through and used it, but we may see more thunderstorms developing tomorrow afternoon, and again, a couple of those may be severe. So that's what we're looking at, but we really kind of turn our focus to the heat, which will be extreme to our west, and we will be in a heat advisory over the tri-state for tomorrow and Tuesday, and that's because we're expecting the humidity, and our dew point was like 80 degrees this afternoon. That is just hideous and almost a record high dew point. I think the record at Evansville is like 82 or 81.9, something like that. We could see the heat index easily exceed 115 tomorrow with that much moisture in the atmosphere, and Tuesday pretty close to that as well. So that's why the first alert weather days, really the only thing you can do with regard to heat is avoid it, obviously, if you can, and if not, hydrate, get in the shade, and don't do too much too fast out there. Later in the week, Wednesday through Friday, we pull that temperature into the mid-80s, and then we have more showers and storms on the way next weekend. The Canadian wildfire smoke may return again by midweek. Now, this morning, we just had regular old fog out there. It looked like the smoke in some ways, but it was not. It was just plain old water vapor fog. 73 at Evansville, our dew point at least more sensible there. It's down to 71. The current temps around the area all cooled now by those storms, low 70s just about every place. And our feels like temperatures have also pulled back now that the storms have cooled everything off. We only were down to 73 this morning, and then this afternoon we got up to 92 degrees, but that happened kind of late. when the sun broke through, and it was that rapid heating, of course, then that kicked off the thunderstorms. So 92, we're back in there. Yesterday was actually the coolest high temperature of the month. We only got up to 76. Of course, it was cloudy most of the day, and some of you had rain or drizzle out there. I think at the airport we had 1100s yesterday, and we're probably sitting at about a half an inch of rain for today. I had measured 4400s, or they had reported 4400s when I last checked. So for the month, we're still behind, but at least now we are over an inch of rain for the month. Here's Monday. Tomorrow, of course, it's going to be hot and humid in the afternoon and partly sunny in the morning. We may see some fog again, especially since we've had all these storms that rolled through. That line is holding its own and will likely move on into Nashville and central Tennessee later on tonight. As for tomorrow, and again, anytime we're trying to forecast these squall lines, it gets really tricky because they don't always play by the rules, so to speak. But if the model is onto anything, we might see another line of storms develop, kind of like the one today, and basically follow that stationary front right across the tri-state during the afternoon, which is what happened today. We had a stationary front off to the west, and that was just enough of a gradient to kind of let those showers and storms come right on down the pike and into the tri-state. Our longer range then is dry for the middle of the week, but we have more rain and thunderstorms possible by next weekend, Friday night through Sunday. We seem to be on a roll here, having all of our storms on the weekend for whatever reason. And the rain potential, again, it always hinges on where the thunderstorms set up, so don't get too bent out of shape over these 2, 3, and 4 inch totals. That is taking into account thunderstorms, and as we know with the GFS, it often overstates rain potential, but it anyway shows that we probably will get some rain again next weekend. The European also bringing rain in on Saturday and getting it out of here on Sunday. Total rainfall on the European, a little more moderate there, around an inch. That would be a little more reasonable for thunderstorms that we're expecting. Scattered storms overnight tonight down to 71. Then 93 tomorrow. It's going to be sunny but very humid, and the heat index will get into that danger zone. And then our first alert weather days go into Tuesday, followed by a dry spell in the middle of the week, and more showers and thunderstorms over the weekend, taking us back to above normal temperatures and below normal rainfall for the coming week ahead. And there's Lily, the cat. We'll let you enjoy that pet pic, and I'll take your questions now. All right. A lot of you on here tonight. Rhoda Elda, lots of folks out of power in Owensboro. Not surprising, yeah, with the wind that we had. William Raleigh, dew point reading 81 at your house. Good night. That is just ridiculous. It's like, that's near a record. I don't know the exact record at Evansville. I want to say it's 82. So, I mean, we are really pushing up there. And great pictures. Thank you, William. He was at a railroad, a model railroad show over in St. Louis, near St. Louis over the weekend, Collinsville. He's a modeler. He builds these things. I should have put that up there instead of the cat. But anyway, maybe some other night. Laura Gray in Morton's Gap. It was raining, thundering, and lightning big time. I'll bet it was. Carl Rice, any ideas on when power will be restored in Owensboro? I can't help you on that part of it. I know they're probably working on it, and there are no more storms coming in. So it should make that process go as fast as it can. I don't know how complicated, you know, if you got a bunch of trees and power lines down, it gets, that's a lot of work. Those, you got to salute those guys that get out there in this any weather, especially in the wintertime, and you know, string up the wires and get everybody hooked up. Rebecca Robertson, still a lot of lightning and some thunder in Owensboro. Yeah, I'm going to actually put the radar back up here so we can kind of look at that. There are still storms in the area. We had them after the main line came across Evansville here around 7 o'clock. We still, you're seeing, if you're in Owensboro, you're looking up here toward Rio, Rockport would be there, Patronville, in Hatfield, and you're seeing lightning from those. In fact, if I turn the lightning strikes on, of course that will obliterate the reflectivity data, but there is a lot of lightning in these storms between Jasper and Petersburg, for example, around Dale, Holiday World there, Santa Claus, and then all the way down. And in Owensboro, if you're looking south, we've got pretty energetic thunderstorm there near Livia. So they're just everywhere. Let's see. Angie Wampler, no rain in Vincennes. That is hard to believe, but I do believe you, by the way. I'm not questioning your integrity, but yeah, well, you know, that's how it's been today. I mean, the storms have just been in these very narrow bands, so you kind of either get it or you don't. Jeff Miller, I was worried about you in Savaw. Obviously, you were just a little bit off of the beaten path for the strong winds. 0.3 of an inch. Let's see here. Karen Duckworth, more rain tomorrow. Maybe, but it'll be scattered. Yeah. Cairo's out of power, Brayton Marlowe says. Zach Seitz, will thunderstorms mature to supercells tomorrow? Not necessarily. These weren't supercells today. They were severe, definitely, and we did get our money's worth on the thunder and lightning and heavy rainfall. No tornadoes, fortunately. We weren't expecting those. We did get some winds of over 70 miles an hour. William Raleigh had a half an inch of rain at his house, okay, which is near here, so that's pretty close to what we had up here. Misty Senselmeyer's watching from Mount Vernon. Good evening. Was your weather bad there? Did you get pretty strong storm? It looked like it was kind of west of town, out toward like the country club, and then going out toward, well, not Point Township would be south, but you know what I mean, like west. Beverly Sprinkle, how long is the rain going to stay around, and when is the high heat and humidity going to come back? We got rain in Tell City. Yes, you got rain in Tell City. You're going to get some more here too when that next line comes down. The heat and humidity will stay around at least through Tuesday. It looks like midweek, Wednesday to Friday, it'll pull back into the normal range, which is like 85 to 90, and be a little less humid. And then across the south here, for those of you watching in western Kentucky, if you look out toward the south, you're still seeing quite a bit of lightning out there. And we have these couple of storms kind of on either side of Owensboro. Owensboro might get another good dousing here in just a few minutes as that storm comes across the Ohio River. When these things first kicked off this afternoon, they were hardly moving, 10 miles an hour to the south. So I thought we were going to see a boatload of flash flood warnings. We got one warning, it's still in effect up here in Owensboro and out US 60 toward Stanley and Reed, but we did not get as much flooding as I thought we might. I think that's everybody. Macy Kryline is in Jasper. All right. All right, I'll go through here one more time. Lucas Sigler, how many more months of summer? Ready for winter? Well, be careful what you wish for. I always think of that when we're kind of in the throes of summer here. Yeah, this past winter, remember the winter, you know, how quick we are to forget, but it was a lousy winter here in the tri-state. I don't remember the exact snowfall amount that we had for the whole season. I want to say it was around 18 or 19 inches, but it was a snowy, miserable, cold winter. And fortunately, you know, the heat here will get out pretty soon, at least this week. But yeah, we have to get all the way at least into the second week of September before I would say we're pretty much out of the heat. I think the very latest we've ever hit 100 is like the 19th of September or something like that. And not that we're going to hit 100, but the heat and humidity can linger, as you know, all the way into early October. And as the climate warms, we get, you know, a longer hot, humid season than we might have had, say, 40 or 50 years ago. So the bottom line here is we still have a few more thunderstorms. We might get a warning or two on those, but I think it would probably be for flash flooding as the wind part of these storms seems to have died down just a bit. So as you get out and about tonight, tomorrow, just be mindful there might be trees or debris on the roads that wasn't discovered until you run over it. So watch out for that. And we may see a little fog in the morning. I'll have a full forecast for you tonight on 14 News at 10. And then Byron Douglas will be back with you bright and early tomorrow morning, Arden Gregory at midday, and then we're back into the regular rotation here. And yes, we actually, there is some good news. We have a fourth meteorologist hired. However, that person will not be starting here for about another month and a half or so. So it's going to be a little while longer with just Byron and Arden and me. But we'll make it work, right? We always do. All right, you all have a good night and stay safe. Thanks for watching.